Democracy Day today, Fourth Republic, and that was the Third Republic that was aborted. There were senators that were elected. The current president today was a senator. He ended up in exile for fear of his life. And the elected leader, who was accepted as the leader, was jailed because there was a coup that removed the interim national government of Chief Ernest Shoneko, the late Chief Ernest Shoneko. Now, this is a very big day in our history because it happened 32 years ago, but nonetheless, in fact, this date was not sacrosanct until a few years ago when President Buhari changed May 29 handover dates and Democracy Day to June 12. So we are privileged to be citizens of a country that has such a rich history, democratic history, natural history, all sorts of histories. But we are not at home, but we are at home in spirit. But we still have challenges as a people. Our country, we're battling with insecurity. We have high levels of youth unemployment. We have high levels of political chicanery, and there's no more ideology in politics. There's wastage in government, massive fiscal wastage, high recurrent expenditure, low capital expenditure, capex, and the diaspora is dispersed, diverse, and not united. Yeah. Mostly along tribal lines or even village lines in some cases. Because I see people saying they have a village meeting, a town meeting, and I know that if you're having a village meeting in South Africa in 2025, that's not the conversation the world wants to hear. Village meetings are village meetings. There are millions of villages in the world, millions, but there are only a few countries. So why we're here today as Nigerians in diaspora is to begin to challenge the status quo. Nigerians don't challenge the status quo. What do we mean by status quo? What are the things that affect us as Nigerians in South Africa or in diaspora that we want to see changes? One of the things is immigration. There is a very painful record of Nigerians in South Africa in terms of our immigration status. Very painful record. I don't want to talk about the source, but it's the most painful record that I've seen in my more than 2 decades in South Africa about our immigration status. We must challenge it. And also, I believe that the political economy of this country, we've missed the boat. There was major election last year that brought about a government of national unity. The last government of national unity was when Nelson Mandela was elected, and they wanted to bring the country together because there was a lot of fear. White people were afraid. So they brought white people into government, and Indians and all of that. But Indians were part of the struggle with black people. But today, the parties that are in the government of national unity, some of them are the most fear-mongering parties, the most racist parties, like your Freedom Front Plus, like your Patriotic Alliance, that says that they should, send foreigners away, and even whether you're legal or not, if a South African can do it, why must they give it to a Zimbabwean or a Nigerian or Congolese? So I think Nigerians generally, we don't understand danger. When danger is coming, Nigerians don't know what danger means. And I suspect the reason is because we're living in the flesh a lot. Because when you live in the flesh, you won't spot danger. Because when the South Africa of 20 years ago, under Thabo Mbeki, when Thabo Mbeki and Obasanjo, they formed NEPAD, they launched the AU in Durban in 2002, July I was there, Yadema was there, Gaddafi spoke for 3 hours at the stadium. It was euphoric to be an African, but we don't have, South Africa has changed now. There's high unemployment, there's high levels of crime, there's high levels of gender-based violence, there's so much anti-foreign sentiment. So the theme is this: if we don't fix our immigration status in this country, and why is it that Nigerians, when they go to America, they want to fight to the end to get the green card, but when they're here, they say if they don't get their paper, well, is it because the country is mostly black people? Because it is the reverse. If it's 80% white, why do we comply when there's 80% white people? But when there's 80% black people, we don't comply with their law. They see us as lawless and as brigands. So today is about how do we profile ourselves differently so that even if you are illegal in a country, you then don't commit crime. I think the biggest pain is when you are illegal in a country, and that's why Trump is fighting hard, that you are illegal and then you commit crime. So my theme song to our people is, if you are not legal, don't commit crime. Now, I'm not saying those who are legal should commit crime. Ideally, you shouldn't commit any crime. But crime is part of human nature. But I think that if you're illegal and you commit crime, you're very vulnerable. So that's the first point. The second point is, Nigerians in South Africa, we need to have political leadership. Now, what do I mean by political leadership? Yes, it's hard for a non-citizen to rise in politics, but we can have leaders amongst our hosts. There's Julius Malema, there's Mashaba, there's Cyril Ramaphosa, there's Jacob Zuma, so many political parties. Which one do we identify with? We can't just be flying blind in a foreign country and have no path to freedom and progress. So we must adopt a political party and give it all our support, because we need to have a voice in parliament. We need to have people speaking on our behalf. We need to bring our agenda onto the table. So politically, we're irrelevant in South Africa. We're as good as dead toast. Toast that is dead. That's our position. Now, economy. How can we have the largest markets in Africa, but when you go around this beautiful land, and there are many of our people here, you cannot see any of our products in PEP or Pick and Pay or ShopRite, and these businesses are in Nigeria? It means that we have no economic philosophy. So we are just bloody consumers. All we do is eat all day long and fat and eat and use the toilet on steroids. Even the tissue paper we're using, we have no idea who makes it. But we buy it and we load it up. We like to load it up. And they're almost always white. You purple with and you clean with white. We love it. But we don't produce the tissue paper. So you do the math. How many Nigerian buttocks are in this country? Buttocks. And how many tissue paper we consume every year? It's going to be a staggering figure, right? So that's the economics. We don't even produce anything in this country, even for our community, apart from a bit of jollof rice and so on. But the service leaves a lot to be desired. Which brings me to the final point, which is what we're going to do now. 200 million people, we don't produce any Olympic medal. That is a criminal offense. 200 million people, you go to the Olympics, minister and so on. 84 officials, they go back home, no medal. They should be arrested on arrival, all of them, and flogged for disgrace in the country. Because if you're a professional and it's bronze, 80-something athletes. Some countries say only 5 people, they get silver and they get bronze. I'm telling you, in the Caribbean, in Asia, the contingent, there will be only one athlete carrying the flag. He's going to win something. We don't set any standard. We're so happy because we're going to watch Arsenal today. Arsenal, that we didn't invest a penny. They said Dangote will buy Dangote. He went to build the refinery. He's not a serious person. So at the end of the day, that $20 billion that Dangote used for refinery, can you not buy Arsenal 10 times? It's not serious. That's how we are. We're not taking it seriously. All these businesses are in Africa, where there's high challenges. That's why he was crying on television that they are squeezing his neck. No crude oil, because he didn't expand to where the world is expanding to AI, sports management, and taking young talents and grooming them like Carlos Alcaraz, that everybody is watching when they're eating lunch at home. Can they watch cement at home? for 5 hours.
Nobody can.
Let's go, please.
Let's go inside.
Yeah. Hello and welcome everyone to our event, our June 12 Democracy Day Nigeria event. 32 years ago in Nigeria, we had the presidential elections annulled by the former dictator, General Ibrahim Babangida. And as a result of the annulment, the country, the general precipitated a crisis, which led to the establishment of an interim national government led by Chief Ernest Shonekon, which was aborted within a few months by General Sani Abacha. As many of you would know, General Sani Abacha became a dictator, a maximum dictator, and went after his opponents and killed a number of them. Some of them have been honored today by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu with national awards from the CON to the OFR to the CON to the GCON. Some of them include Professor Wole Soyinka, as well as people like Senator Sani and many others, in lawyers, people like Femi Falana. So we as Nigerians in diaspora today, we are converging to look at this day, which is a national day, a monumental day, which was given to us by General Buhari, who ironically was a military dictator himself, but he gave us this day because our original day was May 29. So we're gathered here today with friends of ours, brothers, and well-wishers to talk to the issues that affect our country, but particularly those that affect us as Nigerians in diaspora. And we're going to look at the theme of immigration, political economy, and sports. And the reason why we brought sports into the picture is because at the last Olympics, Nigeria had about 80 athletes and 84 officials, and we went home with no single medal. And for us, that is an embarrassment. So today we're going to be talking to these issues. We're going to prefer solutions. We're running late because, of course, Nigerian time, or is it factor, has crept up on us. But we're determined to carry out the program within the time, which is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. South African time. So happy Democracy Day, although those of us in diaspora who cannot vote are not happy, but we nonetheless are happy that we still have some modicum or at least some measure of democracy, which is better than a dictatorship. I thank you. Take off this hat. This hat is not very good. Let me.
Well, you look like a star. Who is this star old man?
I'm my friend.
So just we'll camera.
Okay, now talk.
June 12.
All right. Once again.
June 12.
Again.
June 12.
Again.
The camera all the time. Smile.
Oh yeah.
On behalf of the Nigerians here in diaspora today, we're presenting you this for winning the table tennis competition.
June 12.
On June 12th, yeah, precisely. It's on June 12th. Even as much as you are an old man in a young skin.
That's all right.
So congratulations.
All is good.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Our local. Our local.
Logo mention for Oshodio.